Hey, this is Jonathan at American Off-Road Customs. I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about this motor that we're working on this Jeep JK Wrangler. If you have a 3.6 liter V6 engine on your Jeep, I wanted to take a moment to showcase some very common issues that we're seeing. The longer these are on the road, the more problems are starting to show themselves and more consistent issues. So since it's a part, I wanted to kind of take a moment to show you. So if you have an oil leak coming out of the backside of your engine, it's more than likely coming from the separation of the oil filter housing and the cooler. So like this black part is the plastic housing, then the oil cooler is this metal fin on top of here. And what happens is the plastic gets brittle and warps and separates, and that causes the oil to leak, and it'll fill up this valley and then run down the back. And so it'll look like what a lot of people think is a rear main seal leak, but more often it is this guy that's leaking. Another common thing, which is what we're getting into on this one, is this came to us with a diagnosis from somebody else that was under the impression that it needed head gasket replacement due to a head gasket failure. This Jeep has 170,000 miles on it, so we thought it'd be a good idea to go ahead and replace timing chain components while we had it here. And a common failure on these is the rockers. So if you don't know what that is, so you on the top of your engine, you have camshafts. So this is one of the camshafts, and it sits down in this area right here. And so this thing spins around, and these lobes right here are what are going to cause the rocker, which is this guy, which rides on here, and there's the little push rod. Anyway, so this spins around and this thing moves up and down, and that causes the valves to open and allows air in and exhaust out and stuff like that. So what happens is if you have a ticking sound coming from your engine, these rockers have a little bearing in them. Now this bearing should be pretty solid, but on this one, as you can see, I can push it with my finger and it has a lot of deflection. And so this creates a ticking sound because this is rocking around in a manner that's not supposed to be just doing this. It's actually like kind of bouncing. Now, on this one, it got to a point where this bearing got so worn out that the bottom side of it was contacting the lobes on the camshaft. And you can see on this one right here where it completely dug into the lobe and ground all that metal off of there. So this camshaft is now garbage. So we're having to replace it. So that's mostly what I wanted to show you. Because this is the new one, right? So this thing has no play whatsoever. So there's no movement on that bearing. So that's what we're putting all new ones of these in there. Got a new camshaft to put in there, and new timing chains as well as head gaskets and all that stuff. So that's just in case you have any of those symptoms, oil leak, that'd be a lot of times it's this guy coming from the back, or if you have that ticking noise, more than likely you need rockers replaced. So that's one of the things that we can do for you here. You know, we do a lot of custom stuff and fixing your Jeeps up, lifting your trucks, you know, things like that. But we can also do this kind of stuff. So just keep us in mind if you have those kinds of issues on your vehicle and hit us up.